Well, hey, it's good to see you again. My name is Jada Ben, and welcome back to the Wax Showcase video where we're born, we age, we die, the reverse never happens. Thank you guys for the support on the last video. We've got a bunch of new people here, new subscribers to the channel, so if you're brand new, welcome. We have cookies, and we play poker every single Friday. It's been a long, stressful couple of weeks for your main man here, but we're back, and let's talk about some more music, shall we? We're going to start by what is playing in the background just right over there today, and that is going to be the debut full-length album from Shadow Nell out in 2024 on Relapse Records. This is a side project of the members of Poison Ruin, and is more of a dungeon synth project, which is actually very, very interesting. Considering there were a couple of interludes on the last album they did, as well as the EP, I'm actually kind of really excited to see that they decided to devote all the time into a dungeon synth record. I played my first D&D game a little while ago, and this was a good album to kind of help me get into that headspace and prepare myself for the game. I have the Gold Nugget Band Exclusive Edition, which was limited to 315 copies. I picked it up through the band's web store. But yeah, absolutely incredible. These guys are just incredible musicians across the board, and I hope to see more from this project in the near future. Alright, so we are going to start, as per usual, with a band that I saw recently, not too long ago, and that is going to be the most recent album from Gravesend. This is Gowanus Death Stomp out in 2023 on 20 Bucks Spin Records. We saw them a couple of weeks ago at the Hotel Vegas with Fleshrock and Skeleton, and Void Witch as well. But this release is probably one of the nastiest modern grind albums that I've heard in a significant length of time. It was also just one of the coolest sonic experiences, one of the greatest shows that I think I've seen this year specifically. The band played almost this entire album from start to finish, but a bunch of tracks like Even a Worm Will Turn, Gowanus Death Stomp, Streets of Destitution, Lupara Bianca, Vermin Victory, and Enraged being some top favorites of mine there. It was easily, again, getting to talk with the dudes outside of the show at the very, very end was a massive plus, and I'm surprised it took them this long to get to the state of Texas, but hopefully they will be back one of these days. Better late than never. But it was a great show, and I hope they'll be back sometime in the near future. The particular variant that I have acquired is the B1, which is a black, white, and green tricolor merge with black, white, and green splatter. In case you didn't see on the cover there, mine is signed. So I had a great time catching these dudes. I'm hoping they'll be back, but their particular style of grindcore is very hard to top. It is easily one of the grittiest, dirtiest, nastiest releases of 2023, and I'm finally glad I got to see them play live here very recently. So go and check that out. That's your homework. Go and listen to Gowanus Death Stomp. So we're going to move backwards from that, and we're going to kind of cover an older grindcore release, maybe the last 20 years or so, and that is Napalm Death with The Code is Red, Long Live the Code, out in 2005 on Century Media Records. My edition is a 2024 reissue from, I believe it was Supreme Chaos Records out of, I believe, the UK. My particular edition is number 26 of 100. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but there you go. And for me, this was kind of the band's basis for all of their albums that followed it are measured up to. The band released this album following a couple records that I know some people weren't too fond of, such as Order of the Leech, but I love Order of the Leech, so no complaints from me. But a couple tracks on here like Silence is Deafening, Diplomatic Immunity, Vegetative State, and Our Pain is Their Power being a couple major highlights for this record. And again, I find this to be a very underrated album in the band's discography, if you have my word on it. But this was repressed with a bunch of other sort of albums from that sort of mid-2000s era of Napalm Death. Mine is on this yellow and black splatter edition, again out from Supreme Chaos Records. in the UK. It comes with a nice insert as well as a poster, so if you need to pick up this album on vinyl, I highly recommend checking it out. The pressing quality of this was absolutely insane. But yeah, I'm hoping Napalm Death can hopefully give some more love to this album, because the only track that we got to hear live when I saw them a couple of years ago was Silence is Deafening. So I'm hoping maybe they'll do a little sort of anniversary tour, maybe in support of this, hopefully in the next year or so, but we'll see. Either way, Napalm Death, Code is Red, Long Live the Code. Very, very awesome. Okay, we're gonna move from one code to another. Funny little transition there, but we're going to talk about another band I saw earlier this year, and that is PeelingFlesh with the G Code out in 2024 on Unique Leader Records. These dudes are out of Tulsa, Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, so they kind of split the difference between the two cities there. But this is a particular brand of slam death metal that features a lot of sort of hip-hop visual styles, a lot of that sort of gangster stylings and rap samples and just fun stuff, all things considered. This release doesn't take itself very seriously. I kind of like it for that, because I know a bunch of people were like, oh, it's not serious, it's too hokey. Shut up and enjoy the music. This is so much fun. Seeing these dudes live was an absolute treat. We missed them on their tour with Corpse Pile and all them, because we ended up seeing Nunslaughter instead, but I hope these guys will be back sometime in the near future. And again, don't get it twisted. This is easily one of the heaviest albums that I've heard the entire year, and just because of how fun this record is. When we saw them live, they played about 4 or 5 new songs off here, both the intro and the outro, as well as Shoot to Kill, Perk 3000, and The Fuckening. The Fuckening is one of the most diabolical harmonic riffs I've ever heard. And the songs intro and Shoot to Kill were from the show that we saw them at in Mohawk in Austin, Texas. Was actually mixed and mastered and posted on Unique Leader's YouTube channel, so I'll link that in the description. Go watch it. I was there. It was awesome. But this is easily one of the coolest albums I've had of the year. Definitely an underrated cut. So the fun thing about this one, it had a pressing defect, both as a double LP, and both of them came on this orange burst, which is an orange and yellow galaxy. And I realized that when I opened it, I'm like, this is not what I ordered. But I'm like, okay, and then I saw a bunch of people got the same thing, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But I received an email about a couple of weeks later saying, hey, we know about this pressing defect, and we're going to send you the second LP by itself, and that was as advertised. And that is, the second one was the purple edition, which is this purple, they called it the Crunk edition, because they slowed all the tracks down on the C and D side, so the full album is on the A and B side. So technically I actually have 3 LPs with this one. But all things considered, again, one of the most fun releases of the year, easily probably one of the heaviest bands out of Oklahoma right now. And that's saying a lot, because I go to Oklahoma and there's not much to do there, so I'm surprised there hadn't been more bands out of Oklahoma sooner. But PeelingFlesh, the G Code, go check it out if you haven't already. Alright, we are going to jump to an EP I was not expecting to talk about this year, mostly because I thought they would release it next year. Hopefully, I was thinking the beginning of next year. That's Cruelty with Profane Usurpation, out on Closed Casket Activities in 2024. This is the band's first release without Tatami, their old vocalist, on vocals, and this is the first one to feature Zuma, or Azuma, on vocals. This group is easily one of my favorite modern death hardcore bands tied together. These guys are out of Tokyo, Japan, as you can see by the lovely Obi strip on this edition. I love Obi strips. It's one of the coolest things ever, especially Japanese Obi strips. But this particular release is nothing short of incredible. It's a great follow-up to their last album, Untopia, and definitely the vocals on here are incredible. Zuma nails it. He nailed it in a live setting when we saw them in January. He nailed it when we saw them with Undeath at Parish a couple of months ago. But all things considered, this was incredible. We actually saw the song Profane Usurpation at the show after the song came out. It's like the song came out and we saw them the very next day. So it was a possible live debut. I don't know, can't confirm. I doubt it, but we'll just say maybe. all things considered. I had the pleasure of talking with these guys after we saw them in January at Spider House, and they are easily some of the most wholesome individuals I have ever had the chance of talking to and getting to know. But easily, I think this band is going to start becoming more of a major thing, and I hope that they'll start doing more tours here in the States. The particular variant I have is the yellow and black smoke edition on 180 gram vinyl, limited to 250 copies, of course. This most limited variant, and I feel like I needed to grab this because I love Cruelty. These dudes are awesome and are easily the best thing going in not only Japanese hardcore, Japanese death metal, but also just death metal and hardcore in general. These dudes are on fire, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. So, Cruelty, Profane Usurpation. And we've got one more release to talk about today, and that's going to be kind of an oddball pick from Melbourne, Australia, and that is going to be Tour de Form with Growth and Despair. This is the deluxe edition that came out on Stiff Cut / Breakthrough Records. They are now Breakthrough Records. They were Stiff Cut when this was announced. This is a pop punk album out of Melbourne, Australia. This is the band's first EP, and the deluxe edition includes two standalone singles that were released afterwards. That includes the songs Sparks and Doomsday, which I absolutely fell in love with. I was recommended to this through Spotify as I was listening to another album as I'm driving. Another song comes on and I'm like, hey, this is really good. Turns out it was Tour de Form, and I checked it out and I'm like, I'm familiar with the label, so let's grab it. If you like that sort of nostalgic, old school, good vibes, pop punk music, it is definitely worth checking out. I'm hoping they'll make a run to the States here sometime in the near future. But the particular vinyl variant was pressed through Got a Groove, aka Wax Mage Records. Not the Wax Mage division, but Got a Groove Records. And it's on this awesome Geo Burst vinyl, limited to 50 copies. There are still copies of this available on Stiff Cut's web store, so I will link that in the description if you are interested in checking it out. You should go support these dudes. They are absolutely incredible musicians, and again, I'm hoping that they will get a little bit bigger, and hopefully I can see them here in the States one of these days. Well, that's gonna about wrap it up for me, but before I go, I'd like to say thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. Almost 1,000 views in a week. That is absolutely mental, considering my last most viewed video was 200 views. You guys are absolutely insane. If you're new here and you're watching this, I appreciate you, whether you've been here since day one or you're here with me right now. That's all that matters, is that you're here with me right now. Please click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below on records I should check out and your thoughts on the video, and stay safe, stay metal, and I'll see you next time.